Hi everyone, this is Tooba. We are here to celebrate Bilal Jawaid's PMP success in this event. Thank you very much to join the event, and thank you very much, Bilal, to take out the time to speak with us. Uh, First of all, we are going to briefly introduce ourselves, and then we are going to formally begin the conversation. I'm not going to let anybody wait for a long. The introduction is going to be very brief. So I'm representing on-time training and consultancy services. It's a professional training and consultancy setup in the project program and portfolio management and governance capacity. We are the followers and promoters of management and governance services, more specifically in the PMI capacity. We offer all the services or the major popular courses and credentials offered by PMI. As well as we have recently started our services in the AI capacity as well. So we are also in the AI for project management services as well. I'm the founder, owner, and lead consultant at On-Time Training and Consultancy Services. Bilal, your brief introduction, and then we will begin the conversation.
Sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Bilal Javaid. So, basically, I just got my PMP credential almost a couple of weeks back, courtesy Tooba and OTTC. But other than that, I hold other certifications like CSM, CSPO under my belt. I have also gone through a number of trainings from the tops institution of the world, like Harvard Management or from Harvard. But obviously, it was done virtually. And I also received a medal in that. In my professional career, so right now, I'm working in Systems Limited as a principal consultant in project management. I've got more than 13 years of experience in project management domain. My professional experience, so in terms of my education, I did the Bachelor's of Business Administration and honors with the majors of Marketing and Entrepreneurship. But since then, I've been working in the project management and top class organizations like Coca-Cola, Jazz, Mobiling, PITB, Systems Limited, and Visionet. So yeah, that's me.
That's a fantastic introduction, and I personally feel honored and lucky to have you as my delegate. Thank you very much for being part of OTTC, and my heartiest congratulations on earning your PMP despite all those unfavorable circumstances and situations in your life. Okay, so people would like to know more about your journey, more specifically that how did you manage time with all the different things going on in parallel? Because this is the biggest struggle that anyone would face, that they have a lot of different priorities and how to juggle up things in a way that everything is managed effectively. So the first thing first, Bilal, what made you go for PMP? What was your thought process behind opting for PMP?
Oh, yeah. So basically, I should have gone for PMP way earlier because, I just mentioned like, it's been 13 years in the industry. So I should have, gone in my first after 5 or 6 years. Anyhow, there were a number of reasons. First, when I joined my organization, I had this in my mind that, okay, I know at least 60 to 70% of project management. But when I started learning with my peers who are already PMP or PGMP certified, I came to know that, okay, there are a lot of things that I still need to know, right? So the point number one, I really wanted to learn the standards and the processes that normally a lot of people across the world use in the project management domain. Number two, it was my KPI in the organization that I have to go for at least one training that boosts my skill set. Third, obviously, I had this in my mind somewhere that it's gonna benefit me in a number of ways. So there were like multiple reasons, and that's why I thought that okay, it's a good time, it's a high time that I go for PMP and get this done.
Okay, Bilal, if I ask you this question in connect to my earlier question, People say that, and most of the people say this, that these credentials are not really helpful, and they are good to have, yeah, like on your profile, and maybe as a badges that looks good in anybody's profile. But when it comes to experience and professional roles and projects and programs, these are not really helpful, and nobody really follows these practices the way it is explained in the standard. What's your take on this?
So I'll keep you very honest, or anyone who is with us right now, or who's gonna watch this video later on. So PMP is gonna help you guys in a number of ways, and trust me on this one. So basically, first thing that it gives you, a way to see, project management or different, aspects of any project with the international lens, with the lens of standardization. So whenever you go, outside Pakistan, you work with a lot of companies in the USA, Europe, or any region of the world. They have a certain set of standards, right, in project management. So PMP gives you that lens first. Then you come to know that how can you actually manage cross-functional teams. Here in our continent, you see a lot of organization with different type of hierarchies there, right? But in project management, in every single project, you're gonna have a new team, a lot of people coming from different backgrounds. So I think team management or people management in generic is going to be another very good thing that it tells you. Third thing, there are like standardized frameworks that you come to know. We all have heard a lot about Agile, Scrum, Kanban, and so many other things, but we know maximum on the surface. We have never been deep dive into the things and see things from another lens. So I think it's not true if you say that PMP is not going to help you, or it's just a badge that you can post over the LinkedIn. That's, yes, it's implied actually. So once you do the PMP, you get the badge, you're certified, you go to the platform and you post it there. But just having this badge or certification or the PMP, that title after your name, is not only the truth, right? If you have done it, and you have done it, like you learned a lot of things, it's gonna pay you in a lot of ways.
I totally agree. You actually said something that I always wanted to say, and I always do say, whoever like wants to have this speech with me. But my personal opinion is that you don't do this just to like ornament your profile with these badges and all. I mean, yeah, that's also true that you need that maybe for your job and for your profile and for your organization, for your customer. That's true. But beyond that, the benefits, like they are way too they are way too extensive. And I think there's a concept of sustainability as well, that it's not only one time learning or one time earning, it's also about maintaining the skill set as well, which is never ending, right? So, yeah, this is the thing. And okay, taking the conversation forward, maybe this question is going to be of utmost interest to those who are actively preparing their PMP, or maybe they are aspiring to write that in a couple of weeks or months. How much time did you take to prepare for the exam particularly? I know
It's
that, I know the answer, but I would like you to say it.
Okay. Yeah. So the process started from, going through the simulator, and I'll keep you honest. If I only count the time or the number of hours, or maybe the days that I, spent, on the simulator, so I'd say maximum a couple of weeks, right? I watched every single video, with 1.25 speed, right? I, skipped few lessons, honestly, because, given my experience of 13 years with Agile Scrum, practicing already. So, I just, quickly went through those lessons, and where the lessons, that I knew that, okay, I have to spend classes with the, team, obviously with you, only preparing for mock exams. Uh, if I tell you only the weekends, I mean, so 8 to 10 weekends, given my circumstances, Tuba, because I am handling multiple complex projects at work, then I've got family, right? I have, and a kind of person like I am, I also need some time for myself, right? So, given all these circumstances, 8 to 10 weeks for mock exams, right? That was the whole time that I spent, altogether, if you say, hardly 3 months.
3 months, and if you have to say it in hours, like effective hours, tentatively, how many hours? Maybe 100 hours, 80 hours. How would you classify that?
So whenever so going backward, the time that I spent over the mock, so you can say like 6 hours on one mock, right? So for example, 3 hours and 50 minutes, or sometimes 4 hours to attend one mock, and then 2 hours to go through, and see that how many questions I've done right and where I'm wrong. So that I've created that spreadsheet, right? So that almost takes at least couple of hours. So 6 hours, and I attempted like 7 to 8 mocks. So 76, like 42, and then for the exam preparation, roughly I would say 70 to 80 hours. If you exactly spend 70 to 80 hours with focus, right? I think that should be good enough.
I was about to say the same, that in your case, I think it's not more than 80, 90 hours in total. Like effectively, you just spend this much of effort, but that effort was focused. This is my point. Exactly. This is the reason why I asked this question, that if somebody is invested in something, and they are not distracted while they are studying, and they are focused while they are studying, so they are not eating, and they are not jogging, and they are not listening to two other videos, and so then this is possible that with this in my opinion, for PMP this effort is less, but if it is an effective one, you can do it, right? So this is the point of asking this. And yes, generally, like our students, they invest like around 120 to 150 hours, depending on their experience, expertise, skill set, and all. But yes, if someone is as smart as Bilal is, so 70 to 80 hours is also enough. Okay, so moving forward. Um, Also, this question is going to be of utmost importance and interest to those who are aspiring to write their exam in the coming days or weeks. What was your exam experience overall? And when I ask this question, I mean to say that while you are sitting in the exam room, while you are attempting it, your experience with respect to the ambience overall, with respect to that infrastructure that was provided to you in the center, the oral services, time management, different type of pressures that we have to deal in the exam room. How about that, and how did you manage that?
So overall experience, the PMP experience from start to end has been, obviously challenging, I must say that. But it was, I mean, if you're organized, if you're structured, you have a plan in mind, so there shouldn't be any issue. So I took this exam in the Pearson View Center. So the room where I sat and gave the exam, they had like cameras on every single desk on top of me, and they were watching me. And I saw that even if you move just like this, a person is going to come to you that, okay, do you need any assistance? So you have to be very focused first. So there is some kind of, an exam pressure on you. But, it's not first time when you go to any center or you give exam, and being like in your maybe late 20s or late 30s, it shouldn't be an issue for you or anyone actually, right? Then the equipment that they provided was super cool. It was connected, no disruptions, no internet. Even you sometimes get the headphones, you have very focused space. No one is going to bother you, right? You have all the attention on just your workstation. You get enough time. The services, like if you get some water or you need anything, they're going to provide you with that. They have the lockers in there. You can just put your things there. I guess it was very good. It was organized, and I was prepared for that.
Okay. And if I ask you that, because this is like one of the most important constraints, and I would say one of the challenging factors in the exam as well, time management. How easy or difficult was it for you to manage time in the exam?
Time management, yes, it is tough. I'll keep everyone honest again. So it is tough. You have to practice it. So everyone, who is there and is looking to, go for the exam in near future, maybe in next, couple of months, guys, you need to do some practice. So whenever you're gonna go and, attempt a mock exam, I'll tell you that what I did. So for the first four mock exams, I attempted in one go in 4 hours, not even a single break. In exams, you're gonna get two breaks for 10 minutes that don't count in the your entire time frame. But the first four mocks, I never took a break, right? So I attempted the exam right in 3 hours and 15 minutes, right? It was way challenging. After 70 or 80 questions, you start losing your focus, you start getting exhausted, and that's the time where you get a lot of questions, wrong, right? But I practiced that just to make sure that I do not get exhausted into the exam center. But later on, in the final two or three mock exams, I took those breaks. Now come to the real, exam. Uh, do you must take those two breaks, right? If you have practiced like in 7 or 8 mocks and you have attempted all the mocks in the same manner like in 4 hours, it's going to help you a lot. I have seen a lot of people have contacted me since I passed my PMP, that how did you manage the time exactly. So and they told me that they do the mocks in chunks, like, okay, I attempted 50 questions today and 50 tomorrow. No, please don't do that. Try to spare 4 hours window, attempt the mock, and then you can go and tell your question or answers maybe tomorrow, right? But attempt the exam in one go. That's going to help you. If you don't practice it, you're going to face a lot of difficulties there.
100%. This is exactly the reason why I asked this question, because at times people don't understand the importance, or they underestimate the need of doing the exams like outside their comfort zone, because in the exam there is no comfort zone, right? You need to be the way they want you to be. So uh, practicing and at times the scores that they get because of doing the exams in pieces is not the true representation of their practice or readiness, for the same reason, because not every time when you know something you are going to answer correctly, for multiple reasons, because you are tired, you are frustrated, and you are done or already done with this, and you just want it to be completed, and this and that, which starts happening in the third hour, and this feeling is at its peak in the fourth hour. So you need to be ready for that. And you need to know that if you are going to sit in the exam in one go, what is going to be the actual representation of your score look like? Right? How much your score is going to drop because of those different factors. So this is an important thing, that while you are practicing, of course, the effectiveness of the mock questions is important, but also how you are going to attempt this is also very important, because this is particularly important for the reason that PMP is usually the exam people are going for the very first time in the capacity of PMI thing. And PMI exams generally are difficult, tricky, and extensive. So this is your first experience, most likely, with PMI. And maybe you don't know a lot of things about PMI until and unless you are going to experience it. So this is an important tip, that do mocks, number one, full length mocks, number two, and do it with time management, number three, right? To get the right essence of or the right flavor of that mock with respect to the exam readiness. Okay, thank you very much for this, Bilal. And one other thing that I would like to ask is, how did you manage that pressure? I mean, but when I say pressure, it's a lot of things. Nervousness, anxiety, are you going to pass it, and are you going to complete it? And I mean, multiple people start freaking out, and they start doing a lot of different weird things in the exam room, which is only going to be experienced in the exam room. No matter how hard you try, the actual experience is going to be in the exam room, which actually generally comes under the pressure handling aspect. So I give a lot of advices and tips to my own students about that exam day. Did that help you in the exam?
All right, so exam pressure is real. I mean, no matter if you're in your mid 30s, so you're gonna have butterflies in your stomach, and your throat is gonna dry, and you'll have some kind of intense feelings and nerves going on. But again, if you're prepared, you just need to stay relaxed. There are some good tips that you also shared with me, right? And I think for any exam, not only for PMP, for any exam you go, there are some standard tips, right? That you should have a very good sleep. You should be fresh, right? So whenever you go and you book your slot, if you're a night owl, make sure that okay, you take an evening exam, right? Don't go in the morning, otherwise you're gonna get sleep, right? And so if you're a morning person, then you can take a slot in the morning. Anxiety, I guess, being a believer, I must say that okay, you must trust on the Almighty, and then you trust your preparation, your gut feelings. Just stay positive, right? And just try to be simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't overwhelm you with a lot of things, with a lot of thoughts. I have experienced that in my early career, that a lot of people overthink, and then they start getting confused, or they stuck themselves somewhere where there's no way out, right? So just keep it very simple, calm and composed, right? Just implement what you have learned. Stay, I mean, focused. Have breaks. You should have a good sleep, right? Don't just try to memorize anything 1 or 2 hours before the exam. Just stay and relax, right? So these kind of things, I think gonna help you, but the pressure is real. If someone says that okay, there is no pressure, it's a lie.
Yeah, thank you very much for this. And I also suggest that one should stop studying at least 10 to 12 hours before the exam, ideally, given that their preparation is done. But at least, at the 11th hour, you should not be studying. This actually negatively impacts your preparation and your focus in the exam. So this is like another tip that I would like to give to everyone. Okay, moving forward about the registration process, which is also termed as an application process. Most of the people are scared about that as well. And actually, people consider that this is like very, very tough and it's super complicated, and I'm not going to get approved for the for the exam. How was the experience for you?
So my experience was very good, honestly. Though I have the same kind of thoughts in my mind too, but it was very structured, very simple, intuitive. The platform, the user interface of the PMI, where you actually put your information, is very intuitive, right? Normally, I think you did the same thing, and I guess everybody out there who is a PMP mentor is going to tell the same thing, that there is a structured format in which you have to prepare your material for the PMI application, that you need to show that okay, I have this much of experience. So a very standard format. One thing, a person like me, who always tries to get in deep dive, and you even know that the details that I shared against my projects were very detailed, and then you said that yeah, for a lot of efforts, I mean, there was no need. But I guess a couple of hours should be good enough, just to prepare for the application. Then you submit it. It is initiative. No, I mean, such things out there where PMI is going to ask you a lot of questions. You're going to get some emails, or you're going to be rejected. Not at all. So if you're eligible, you have like 5 years of experience, or maybe I guess 3 years of experience with
3
the
years of
university
experience, three to
degree.
five,
Yeah,
yeah, 3 years of
yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, and if you have, worked on different projects, that should be easy for you. There is nothing like that, okay, you're gonna get questions, anyone gonna, get back to you over the email, ask any follow-up questions, not at all. And your application gets approved, I think, within 5 business days. Mine got approved in 3 days. So yeah, it was very easy.
Yeah, this is easy as long as you have written it as per the expectation of PMI. And the expectation of PMI is that you demonstrate yourself on whichever projects you are choosing for your 3 to 5 years of experience. 3 years are needed for if you have your academic qualification with a bachelor, master, or any degree higher than that, and 5 year if you have like your high school certificate or SSC certificate or anything equivalent. So whichever projects you are choosing, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 10, it could be 15, depending on how those accumulate to the number of years needed. You are expected to demonstrate yourself, number one, as project manager or working in the project management environment. Number two, you should be writing that in a way that you don't only say that I have done this, but you also tell them the purpose of the project, how that contributes to that organization where it was done, what results and outcomes it has produced, and what was your contribution in that. This is what they want. And throughout the project life cycle from initiation till closure, what you did, not in detail, of course, very briefly, but this is the structure that they want. If you are going to write it, there is no way the application is going to get rejected. Okay, moving forward. I'm sure the audience in the room and those who are going to listen to it later on, they would like to know that how many mocks you prepare. I mean, you already told that, but like the quality of those mocks, the relevance of those mocks, or the other preparatory material, the services, the mentoring, how relevant was that in your case? And I was your mentor throughout your PMP journey, and you opted for the training exam prep course by on-time training. So anything that you would like to say about that?
Right. So yeah, a couple of people actually approached me and asked, and they actually told me that they are just referring to PMBOK, for the exam preparation, and where, I just, said that okay, you need to stop because PMBOK is good, but obviously a well-structured and organized, the mock material and the other material that you go through either in form of the video tutorials or the live classes, the presentations, or whatever the material that you get is very important. The material that I get from you or the OTTC, it was very well structured, very well articulated. It actually link you with the PMI standards, right? Because again, in the exam, you're gonna get questions in a different manner. It's not like a very ordinary, very simple question. They're gonna give you a lot of real-time use cases, real-world examples, right? The kind of problems that you face on your daily basis, right? So the material was very, well structured. It connected me with a lot of real-time examples, real-time scenarios, right? Then the mock exams in particular, uh, the way that you have put into different levels of difficulty is very good. Like, I know, so there are like 3 levels. The level 1 mocks are that we normally do after each class or even in the simulator. Super easy, and they actually give you a chance to go through what you have just learned, right? Then the level 2 mocks, they're kind of medium level of complexities there, right? And then the level 3, they're ultra hard mocks. The ultra hard questions are there. So I guess everyone should go who is doing PMP, all these level of, mocks, and they actually, made it a lot of easier for me to go in the exam with confidence and then attempt it, because my exam, if I just compared my actual exam with your mocks, it was quite easy. Your mocks were really, really difficult. Even the vocabulary that you had used there in the questions, I have to read it at least twice to understand what exactly are you asking. So the material was very good, the videos, the presentations, and everything. It was very well structured, and it also built the stamina, actually, your mocks, right? Because again, as I read, I tried that doing mocks in one go and try to understand the way the PMI is going to ask you. It's not going to be a very simple, straightforward question, though it will be easy, but it will be, articulated in a way that sometimes you simply get confused and then you spend a lot of time there, right? And that's the catch where you get off the track, right? So yeah, the material was very good.
Yeah, so our strategy is that our student gets ready, like in like every way, or how difficult or how easy the exam is, they are able to do that. This is our strategy, because exam at times is very difficult as well. It depends on the set you are going to get in the exam. And yes, this is a common feedback that we receive from our students, that exam usually is comparatively easier than what we used to provide them, and what we or how we actually advise them to prepare. But this is good. Like, you get ready for the most difficult thing, and the real exam like should look easier to you, and you don't find it difficult to attempt or difficult to pass. One other thing that I would like to ask, and this is probably going to be helpful to those who are already preparing with us, or who are maybe planning to opt for a course, that uh, was there material more than enough to prepare and pass this exam? I mean, a simple yes or no.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, there is no doubt. Yeah.
Okay. But at the very same time, I would like to make this disclaimer, and as the session is being recorded, so I'm purposely doing it because this is very important to know to everyone, that the purpose of having the mock exams is not to give you that confidence that the exam is going to be coming out of those mock questions. Absolutely not. And this is going to be highly unethical and non-professional as well. The purpose is that we give you that confidence with respect to the PMI expectations and learnings, and the ECO, which is the basis of the exam, that you are ready, and whichever question, no matter how difficult, how easy it's going to be in the exam, you are able to attempt that. Mocks are going to give you that confidence. We never claim that our mocks are going to appear like same, or even in the similar capacity. Similar, maybe, yes or no, but the same questions are going to come from the exam? No, no, not really. And this is not what we sell, and this is not what we do. We get you ready for your role as well as for the exam. This is what we offer, right? Okay. Bilal, now what I would like to talk about is a little different with respect to the exam and the, the readiness and all. I would like you to say something about the written perspective on these credentials. Like, how do you see the return on investment of your time, of your money, of your energy on these credentials, and why one should go for this? Maybe not from a short-term perspective, but from a long-term perspective. Yeah.
So basically, if you talk about ROI, it comes in a number of ways, at least for me, and I have been experiencing that since I passed my PMP. So first, a lot of people, start connecting with you with a lot of different backgrounds, right? So you get very good connections, right? You actually make your circle a bit wider, and in the relevant domains. Second, there are going to be higher, earning or better opportunities for you, and I can tell you that with, surety, right? So that is very, interested, for everyone. Then if you are working in an organization, so it may or may not, I guess it should, make your track to the next levels, your next promotion, it should make that track a bit easier, right? It's going to help you with that. Then it actually improves your, I mean, it actually gives you a way that how do you actually handle or different complex projects, right? Trust me, when you will do your PMP, and if you compare that, how was I actually managing my projects before PMP and after PMP, there is going to be a lot of difference. Trust me, you will come to know a lot of different things, new but very effective to handle those things. Like, I still remember, on the very first session with Tooba, I mentioned that I want to learn more about the risk management. That was the area where I, want to be very much focused. And now I can tell you in risk management, I know a lot of things. And in my projects at work, I've been managing risk quite, effectively now, because previously I had that very generic view of risk management in my mind, but after PMP, it, tells you a very different perspective and a good one. Then it gives you the confidence, right? The way that you handle complex projects, the way you treat or manage people, you manage your stakeholders, and your even stakeholders start, managing you in a different way. They see you with, more respect than, okay, now that person is PMP certified. He knows more about the project management strategies. They start consulting you, right? They start giving you more work. That is, a blessing in the disguise, but still. Yeah. So the ROI comes in a number of ways. Promotions, bonuses, maybe better opportunities, more connections, confidence, right? You know a lot of stuff. You can teach, guide, get back, or give back to the community a lot of ways.
100%. I mean, there is no standard answer to this question. Different people perceive different things in a different ways, and we totally respect that. And of course, everybody has their own vision, their own objectives to go for any initiative in their life. But if I have to share my 2 cents on this, I would say that like besides too many tangible and intangible benefits to go for these learnings. Not only PMP, like there could be a lot of different other good learnings available, maybe free of cost or maybe paid. But these skill sets, if done effectively and as per the right expectation, actually helps a lot to make you stand among the crowd. You are going to be highlighted. You are going to shine among a lot of different peoples and a group of people. And also your customers, your stakeholders, your team member, even your senior management in the organization or outside the organization, they start taking you seriously. They become cautious before saying something or making any comment because they know that this person knows his thing, right? This person is not making a claim or saying anything out of, just anywhere, and if there is no basis for that. They know that there is a ground, like there is a reference for this, and they start respecting you for that, right? So there are a lot of different intangible benefits, 100%, and a lot of tangible benefits as well. Maybe the tangible benefits you're not going to see right away. I mean, that depends on a variety of different other factors as well. But this is 100% sure that if you are going to do these credentials as per the expectation and with due diligence, the benefits are going to be realized sooner or later. This is for sure, 100% sure, right? So you start perceiving these credentials the right way. Don't do that just for the sake of doing that. Don't do that just to pass the exam. Don't do that just to add the badge to your LinkedIn profile or so. This is our advice to you. Do that in a manner that after earning it, you feel that you have achieved something. You feel proud of yourself, right? This is the essence. This is a real return, in my opinion. Okay, so thank you very much, Bilal. This was a fantastic conversation, in my opinion. One thing, maybe some of the people would like to know, and they can get some guidance from your side. Are you aspiring any other skill sets or credentials after PMP? If yes, which one and why?
Yeah. So after PMP, now I guess not I guess. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna start somewhere early next year, and the next PMI certification would be PGMP for sure, because the first thing it builds over the PMP. It's kind of the next step on the ladder to reach the ultimate position there. So right now I have that stamina built after almost 13 years of my last university degree, because I was graduated in 2013, and then I just started reading again the material and giving exam. So now I have got that momentum, so I'm just want to rest, and then start another one after a couple of years. So probably early next year I'm gonna go for PGMP. And the reason is that Now I believe and I think that after 13 years, how long I'm gonna, do the projects myself as a PM just, right? So after, for example, 14, 15 years, you aim, the higher positions in the leadership. You want to be a part of the higher growth where you actually enable people, you build teams, and then they do the projects, right? To reach that level, I guess PMP was mandatory for sure, but having a PGMP on top of PMP is going to help you a lot to reach there. So obviously PGMP is going to be my next, focus in, next couple of months.
Fantastic. I'm very glad to hear this and my best wishes. Of course, you are capable to do this. It's just about time that when you want to opt for it. So my best wishes and good luck for this. Okay, in the end, before we start taking the question answers or inquiries from the audience, any word of advice, anything that you would like to share to the PMP aspirants and your like anything that you would like to share to just conclude this.
It has to be just one advice. Then I would say, guys, take it seriously and spend 1 or 2 hours, but on daily basis. You have to be consistent. Otherwise, you will have a lot of challenges, right? But other than that, I would say that you should, have strategies in your mind before you go and attempt the exam in terms of, the preparations. For example, you need to spend time daily. Number two, you need to attempt mocks. You need to attend these mocks in one go. You need to practice time management. You need to make sure that you have, you handle your nerves very well, right? You do not let the anxiety, come over and take over you, right? You should go and understand the concepts rather than just memorizing it, because there is not going to be any question like that in the exam, right? So you're going to get a lot of real world examples or questions. Then treat it as a mindset, as a shift, not as just that you need to do it, or I just need to get that PMP tag after my name. If you're just gonna do it, it's gonna be none of that benefit, right? Then obviously if you have any mentor, you need to consult with him or her very regularly, right? So yeah, so I guess take it seriously and spend some time on daily basis. That's number one.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Bilal, to join us and to, I mean, primarily to take out time from your busy schedule and to join us and to share the useful tips and your lessons learned during this journey. Now we are up to take the questions from the audience. I'm seeing some questions in the chat area. Let's first talk about those. And then after that, if anybody wants to ask anything to Bilal, to me, they can just unmute and ask their questions. Okay, so the first question that I'm seeing in the public chat is by Moyuddin. If the person is done PMP from Pakistan and he wants to move abroad, what guidance will you provide? Should he get experience from Pakistan after PMP or he apply directly from abroad? Okay, this is an opinion that he wants to know your opinion, your personal opinion. I think you have your complete experience in Pakistan, no experience outside the Pakistan.
Never been to outside Pakistan, but in last, I would say 7 or 8 years, I've been working with a lot of companies from the North American or the European region. So, my every single project, was from that region. Now, answering this, question, I think if you have done the PMP either from Pakistan or any other country, it doesn't make any difference, because you're going to get that credential from the PMI, not from Pakistan. So there are no like first or second or third tier of the PMP credential. You get it from the PMI, and it is equally recognized and respect across the world. But if you experience right after PMP, my opinion would be, or my suggestion, that after doing the PMP, first you should imply those concepts in your organization, at least in 1 or 2 projects, and then apply for a better organization somewhere, maybe in the US, Europe, or wherever you're looking, because then it's going to give you more real life example. PMP will definitely tell you that, but obviously implementing it will give you another flavor. So applying it right after PMP may not be that much of benefit in my opinion, but still it may vary from case to case.
Yeah, I also would say the same that having a PMP, it's not a guarantee that you would definitely get a job outside Pakistan, or it's not a guarantee that you. I mean, it's not always the case that even if you are going to stay in Pakistan, you will not be able to get good opportunities. It totally depends on a variety of different other factors. For instance, how good your PR is, your contacts in the industry is, how social you are, because that also matters, and how good you are in the interview taking skills, or how sellable your profile is. I mean, that's also very important. And your experience, your customers, your past, you know, working experience, that also counts. And in my opinion, what counts the most is the sellability. How much you are able to sell yourself in front of a prospective employer, be it in Pakistan or outside Pakistan. I think that this is the most important thing. But yes, PMP plays a lot of I mean, it plays an important role, because when you are in an interview based on the merit, and you have to prove yourself, your experience, your expertise, they expect you to connect your responses to the best practices, because this is what they want you to hear, especially when you are bringing these credentials on the table. So my personal opinion and my personal experience in this capacity is, when you are PMP certified and you have learned that skill set the right way, your uh, responses to the answers that interviewers ask, that they actually are very powerful. You actually are in a position to say that confidently, and you are able to provide some very useful cases, because you have seen many such cases while preparing and attempting the exam, right? So you can, of course, go abroad to work, and you can get your chances. There are many such opportunities and chances available, especially in the IT sector. But only PMP is not going to be helpful. You need to have your other, preparation done as well. We can talk about that offline as well, Mohiti. Okay, so I'm seeing one more question from Sunny. Um, this is an interesting question, because he is struggling with this, so he wants to ask this. So Sunny is asking that what time of the day did you usually sit to attempt the box? It's a good question, actually.
So
This makes a difference, actually.
exactly. So basically, I'm married and I've got kids. So, I always attempted mocks over the weekend. So either it's going to be Friday's night or, the Saturday's night. And I would sit like, in the midnight, like 12 a.m. in the morning. And then I'll sit for, consecutively 4 or 5 hours. And I'm going to attempt that mock in one go. And sometimes even I, tally my answers with the answering book in next 2 hours, so like 5 6 hours for sure in one go. And I normally did this in over the weekend and in the midnight, because then my family has gone to the bed and no one is going to distract me, right? And I can have focus and prepare for the exam. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in Bilal's case, this is the most effective way of doing that, because he had a lot of different other things to manage. But in my opinion, generally, early morning time is the best time to attempt these mocks. The reason being, most likely one is going to go to the exam in the morning, when the energy is fully reserved and you are fresh and you are energetic. So my opinion is that you attempt the mocks the way you are going to appear in the exam. So if you are going to write the exam in the like early morning time, like 9 a.m., 8 a.m. your time, then this is recommended that you do the mocks at that same time. If you're going to appear the exam by afternoon, or early or late afternoon, then you should be attempting the exam at that time, so that you know that this part of the day, how does your brain and body operate, because this is most likely going to be the same situation in the exam as well, right? If this is a flexibility with you, if not, then do it the way that suits you the most. Late night or midnight, not really recommended. If there's a possibility, because that time of the day usually your body is already drained, your brain is almost done for that day, and of course that may reflect badly in your scores as well. Right? So this is an advice. This is like not 100% I mean, proven thing. That depends or varies from person to person, but mostly this strategy works for most of the people. Right? I hope this helps. Okay, there is one more question which I'm seeing as in a private chat. This is by someone who is no more in this room, but this is a question from Imran, and this is another very interesting question. So he's asking that um, what is the role of the mentor in these credentials? Because people do these credentials uh, without mentors and without any guide or supporter as well. So, how much difference does it make to have a mentor or without having a mentor for particularly for PMP? You can answer
I
this.
guess,
You had a mentor, so you can answer this. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess, you know, preparing an exam like PMP without mentor is going to be challenging again, right? In my case, and it may vary from person to person. Sometimes people even don't understand the simplest of the concepts, right? So you need to understand it the right way. Then you need a lot of tips and tricks to attempt the exam to understand a concept, right? And for that, you need someone to actually guide you, right? In my case, you were my mentor and you still have been my mentor in so many cases. And my experience has been nothing short of exceptional, to be honest. In my case, what was required the most, and you did it very right way, was to keep me on track and to push me to go for the exam, right? And your strong follow-ups have been very instrumental, because again, my circumstances were a lot different maybe from others, because I was handling and still I'm handling like more than three projects at my work. My family, hasn't been very well, so I need to take them back and forth, right? And there were so many other things going on, so I needed somebody who is constantly following up, and you and your follow-ups, just kept me on track. Other than that, the follow-ups, I think the structured way, the strategy, the plans that you need to have and to go for the exams, are real, and you should have a mentor. Without mentor, I guess it's going to be challenging. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but the chances of your passing PMP with above targets grade may be lesser, right? Because there are so many things that you need to understand. And there's a study that you only understand when you at least see visually or you interact with people, right? If you're just going to study, read out some material and make points out of those, it may help, but not, I mean,
Yeah.
of that much work.
I think for a study as comprehensive as PMP is a plan, a strategy, a structured approach, and step by step breaking down of that is a whole plan is very very much needed. Otherwise, one can easily get overwhelmed and get off track because this is a real struggle that you may find a lot of different free and paid materials available on Udemy, Coursera, here and there, and which one to go for, when to go for a particular course, and when is the right time to do something or not do something. You need answers on that. Yeah, and mentor is exactly going to help you with that. Not every material available on World Wide Web is useful 100%. Some of the material is absolutely outdated and it's available and people think that it's still relevant, and when they refer that they get to know that no, uh, actually the results are actually very surprising. So I'm not praising myself. I'm not saying that you hire me as a mentor, but I am saying that having a mentor is pretty much needed. Who that could be any person, whoever you think is the right person for you. But a mentor can keep you on track, and a mentor can guide you the right way because they are in that thing for a long time. So they know at a particular point in time, and this particular plans and the do's and don'ts keep on changing as well, because not every time the exam stays the same. maybe 3 months before, the exam used to be different, and our strategies used to be different as well, right? So you need to have a person who knows that as of now, what would work for me for my exam. So yeah, this is the right thing to go for. Yeah, sure, Faisal. This is an open forum. Ask anything relevant to PMP. So just
Um,
unmute and ask. Yeah.
uh, Thank you, Tooba. Thank you, Bilal, for the insightful session. I do have a question regarding the consistency of my schedule to take some time out for the study. Actually, my schedule is too tight. I usually don't get time on daily basis. Is it possible to complete the PMP in 6 months, or sell, for example, like 8 months, if I get time only on weekends? For example, for 4 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday, and total 8 weeks, 8 hours per week. So if I do that, so can I get this accomplished in 6 to 8 months, or it is has to be on daily basis?
Right.
Bilal
So
is
I
the
guess
right
we
person. Bilal is the right person because Bilal also was studying, on weekends and at times not even on weekends. So yeah.
Yeah, so I guess your situation is pretty much same as I had in my case, and I also didn't study on daily basis, to be very honest. When I was going over the simulator and everything, there I tried to spare some time on daily basis, but actually preparing for the exam, right? I couldn't actually do it on the daily basis. 6 or 7 months is far too much time, my friend. I mean, honestly, if you spare 4 hours Saturday, 4 hours Sunday, 8 hours week on every weekend, trust me, 3 months are good enough, and you will pass the PMP. If you, spare those 4 hours with focus and you do, read and understand the concepts in the right way. Right, 8 hours, maximum 10, I would say at max on each weekend, consecutively for 10 to 12 weeks. That's it. You should be, I mean, you should have that confidence after, 8 or 10 weeks that I can go and I can get, above target in all domains. 6 or 7 months are too far.
6 and 7 months are going to make it boring for you. I mean, it's an overstretched plan. Bilal is absolutely right. Maybe 8 to 10 hours per week is fine, but that should be focused study. So if you are able to do that, 3 months would make it like around 100 to 120 hours, which is exactly the plan. More than that is not needed if you are invested and focused in this goal. So yeah, and again, at times people ask me like, just give them one key advice or tip. I would say focus is the key. You focus and you are going to conquer it. Right. So, Faisal, did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm feeling pretty optimistic. You said like 3 months is good enough. I have heard stories from other PMP certified mentors and colleagues that this is something very hard, and you need to grind yourself on daily basis. So basically, my concern was this, that I cannot take the daily basis time out. So if on the weekend and I can get that done in 3 months, I am feeling eager about this. Thank you.
Maybe, Faisal, you can connect with me offline. We usually customize the study plan for our students. So if you are up for it, you can connect with me directly and I will try to help you out with this. Right?
That's
Okay.
perfect. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Anybody has got any other question for me or Bilal?
Oh yes. Hi, Tuba.
Hi, Rafiaz.
Hi.
Glad to have
Hi,
you.
Bilal.
Uh,
Thank you. Congratulations on the very well-deserved success. We are working in the same organization, and I was very excited to attend this webinar. Thank you for the insightful session, and this really motivates me to pursue mine as well. And I have a question, Bilal. Could you please tell us how long did it take you to feel confident enough to attempt the exam? So basically, this is something really very important for me to learn about it. So please.
2 weeks to be, keep it short and precise. 2 weeks. If you when you attempt first 3 4 marks, right? One on Friday, for example, in my case, and one on Saturday, and I saw my, marks. And after 3 or 4 marks, I was pretty confident that I can go and attempt the exam and I will pass it. I was just have this in my mind that okay, I just need better grades, like above target. So I spent a couple of weeks more, and then
Oh,
Alhamdulillah
yes.
I got that. But I guess after 4 or 5 mocks, you should be confident. If you have studied the material, I guess 2 weeks are good enough. Yeah.
All
Usually,
right. All right.
Rabia, I have to run after my delegates that please book the exam. Please, for God's sake, book the exam. But Bilal was not that one. Bilal knew that he had to write it and he is going to write it. It was just about his availability and, like a day's availability. So that, in fact, he didn't take that full day off. He just wrote the exam and he went to office after that. So it was like that. He was like very much. Sure that he's going to write it, and he knew that time as well. Yes, there were ups and downs during his journey because of different reasons, but I knew that actually this delegate is not going to delay it. He is going to write it. I knew that from day one. So yeah, and this is also our journal advice to everyone that there is no best preparation. You are never going to feel like um, perfectly prepared for the exam. You're never going to feel like that. There is no such feeling. You have to take your chances. Yeah. Anybody has got any other question? Because we are actually overrunning the session now. But if there are questions, we are willing to answer that.
Yes, Toba, I have a question.
Just 1 minute, Usama. Bilal, are you up for like a couple of minutes, or do you have any commitment?
Sure, we can quickly take last 2 questions, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
No
Usama.
worries.
Yes, as a new joiner, what kind of mindset would help a person to prepare any professional certification?
Okay, so if you're referring to someone who, just completed his or her degree and now, started job and he or she is looking for any certification, I guess PMP, has an eligibility criteria. But yes, if you're a new joiner, it's a very good time that you start actually, understanding the concepts right way. And then you don't need to actually spend that much time when you go and prepare for the exam. So from now, for example, there are study material, or there are uh, resources available over the internet. Like you can go over the PMI website, you can download the PM book, the latest edition, right? And then you can start studying that and implementing those concepts, right? And when you're eligible for the PMP exam, then it shouldn't take that much time. But having these kind of credentials under your belt, if you're gonna see yourself in next 5 years in a very good position, obviously you should aim for that.
Yep, absolutely. Anyone else, or shall we wrap up? I think we are good. Thank you very much, Bilal. This was a fantastic session. I never had this level of, informed and full of insight session for PMP success story so far. Thank you for this. I hope the audience enjoyed the conversation as well. If you have any questions, you can connect with Bilal directly or me directly, and I've shared the LinkedIn profiles as well. Um, Thank you again to everyone to join the event. Thank you, Bilal, to take out the time. I will be back very soon with the another success story webinar. Till then, take care. Good night, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.